Hi students, good morning. Welcome to the online class. Now social class. Now we are in which chapter? Now we are in the second chapter. What is the name of the second chapter? The name of the second chapter is The Globe, a Model of the Earth. Globe, a Model of the Earth. In the first pages, we read about some of the important facts about the globe. We also understood axes, latitudes, and longitudes. What is the important latitudes? What is the important longitude? And what is the importance of these latitudes and longitudes? These things we understood from the first pages. Now, in this chapter we are going to study about movement of the earth. Before starting movement of the earth, let us try to find out the latitude and longitude in which our state, Andhra Pradesh, is located. Page number 20, there is a map given in the page, a map. The map is given in a square, and the square represents, the horizontal lines represents the latitudes, the vertical lines, the perpendicular lines show longitudes. What is our task? Our task is to find out the name of this latitude and longitude. For that we can use an atlas. With the help of an atlas we can find out the latitude and longitude of these lines. Do you have an atlas? If you bought the textbooks, definitely with the textbooks you have got an atlas. School atlas is provided from the school, and this atlas will help you to find out the latitude and longitudes of this map. At the end of this atlas, you can see index. Here you can see index. In this index, first names of the place. Names of the place is given. Next, which state or country the place is located, that name is given. Next, there is page number. After page number, first line is latitude and next line is longitude. Like that it is given. So to find out the north latitude of Andhra Pradesh, we have to look for the place at the top. Which place comes there, and that place is in which latitude, that is what we have to find out. Like that the bottom line also, like that we have to find out. The longitudes, right side, which longitude will be passing through Andhra Pradesh, like that, through the boundary, and on the left side also. So with the help of atlas we can find out the latitudes and longitudes of Andhra Pradesh. Here we can see the north latitude, means the upper one, is around 19.08 north latitude. 19.08 north latitude is the upper line, upper horizontal line. The bottom latitude, bottom horizontal line is 12.44 north latitude. 12.44 north latitude. From the atlas we may not get this 44 or a 08 like that. So we can say 19 degree north latitude or 12 degree north latitude. Like that in round figure we can say. And the longitudes, the horizontal, the vertical lines, perpendicular lines. On the left side, we have 76.53 east longitude. 76.53 east longitude is on the left side, and on the right side we have 84.44 E. What is this E? E means east longitude. These longitudes fall in the eastern side of the Greenwich, that's why they are called the east longitudes, E. So the first longitude is 76.53 and the right side one is 84.44 east. And that is the latitudinal and longitudinal measurement of Andhra Pradesh. Now, movements of the earth. Already I have mentioned the movements of the earth. There are two movements, mainly two movements of the earth. What are the two movements of the earth? One is called a rotation, the other is called a revolution. Rotation and revolution are the two movements of the earth. Okay. What is meant by rotation? So let us see this video to understand more about rotation. After watching this video, you will get clear ideas about rotation. Watch this.
Look at this video. This movement of the earth is called a rotation. The earth moves from west to east. And look at the side where the light falls. See, one side of the earth receives sunlight. This time look at the bottom side. At the bottom side, at the pole, south pole, you can see there is light always. Even when the earth moves around, in this area light is there. That means throughout there is...
What information did we get from this video? First one, the earth moves from west to east. And what is the speed of the earth's rotation? 1610 kilometers per hour. Then, what are the effects of rotation? Days and nights are caused. Days and nights occur because of rotation. How much time does it take to complete one rotation? It takes 24 hours. If we say exactly 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4.09 seconds. That's the time for one rotation. So, these are the important things about the rotation we found. And next thing is revolution. What is meant by revolution? While rotating its own axis, the earth moves around the sun also, moves around the sun, going around the sun. That movement is called a revolution. So what is revolution? To understand that, let us watch this video. Look at this video. Then you will get a clear understanding about a revolution.
In this picture you can see the upper side, that means the north pole is receiving sunlight throughout. And this happens because the earth moves around the sun. That is why the position now changed. In the last video you found sunlight was falling on the southern pole, Now the sunlight is falling on the north pole, making the long day here. 6 months a day is there. And the dark part, where there is the shade, there is night, and where there is light, it is daytime.
Now you understood what is revolution. From the video you could understand clearly what is revolution. It takes, the revolution means Earth is moving around the sun on a fixed path. That means one time the Earth went around, the next time also in the same way only it is going. Next time also same way it is going. It is not moving this side or that side. It's a fixed path. And that fixed path is called orbit. The orbit is in elliptical shape. What is elliptical shape? Look here. You can see elliptical shape. Elliptical shape is like this. And this elliptical orbit is the pathway of Earth's movement. How much distance is there? That means one round, how much distance? We said that around 965 million kilometers. 965 million kilometers. 1 million is equal to 10 lakh. 965 into 10 means 9,650 lakh kilometers. 950 lakh kilometers are there. The orbit, and to complete one revolution, the Earth takes how much time to complete one revolution, to go around the sun one time? That time is called 1 year. The Earth completes one revolution in 1 year. What is a calendar year? How many days are a calendar year? 365 days. But actually, the Earth takes 365 and a quarter days. Quarter means what? 365 days and 6 hours. It takes to complete one revolution. And what about these 6 hours? It is not calculated in the calendar, normal calendar. When 4 years complete, all these 6 hours will be calculated. 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 means 24. And this 24 hours is equal to 1 day. 1 day is added to the year. Then that year there will be 366 days in a calendar year. That year is called a leap year. So a leap year is an year in which there are 366 days. That means the extra time is added to that year. And to which month this day is added? Usually to the month of February only. Usually February has 28 days, but in a leap year, this 1 day is added to 28, then it becomes 29. In a leap year, February has 29 days. What are the effects of revolution? The effects of revolution are seasons. Seasons occur only because of revolution. Because when Earth goes around the sun, it comes to different various positions. Sometimes it is near to the sun, sometimes it is far away from the sun. Like that, the position of the Earth is different on the orbit. At that particular point, the Earth will have a particular climate, and that is why seasons occur. So different seasons occur because of revolution of the Earth. Here is a picture we can see. about the revolution of the earth. In the middle you can see the sun and the earth moving around it. Looking at the picture carefully. So this is the sun. The sun is not moving. The sun is staying at one place only. It is staying there. But what is moving? Earth is moving. Earth is moving around the sun. And this line you see now, this is the orbit. This shape is elliptical shape. And these are the different positions of the earth. When the earth is in these positions, usually 21 March and on 23 September, the earth will be on these positions. At that time, the equator of the earth will receive direct sun rays. The sun's rays fall directly on the equator. At that time, the day time will be equal in the North Pole and in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Here also, the sun's rays directly fall on the equator, so the day will be equal in north hemisphere and south hemisphere. So these dates are called equinoxes. These are called equinoxes. And when the earth comes here, 22 September, at that time it is winter season in the northern hemisphere. You look at the shade here. The shade, the upper part is always north, bottom part is always south. You look at the picture here. Here you can see in the southern hemisphere there is more light, and in the northern hemisphere there is less light. That means this area is covered by shade. What does that mean? Here there is no very much heat. So in this area it is cool. So now December, we have December now. How do you feel in the nights? Is it very cool or hot? Very cool now, isn't it? So we have winter season in December. On 22nd December, the earth reaches here, and this position makes the entire northern hemisphere very cool, very cold. And the other side here, you see, the light falls on northern hemisphere more and less in southern hemisphere. Which date? 21st June. So this time, in the northern hemisphere, we are in the northern hemisphere, we shall have very hot summer season. In this area it will be very hot. And you see light on the northern hemisphere. When the earth moves around, this light will remain there. It will not change. But this area, what happens? This area will go to shade, and the shady area will come to light. That means here it is night, here it is day. This region will go to the shade, then it will be night there. This region will come to light, then there will be day. Like that, days and nights are occurred. So these positions are called. This is called winter solstice, and this position is called summer solstice. Summer solstice means summer in the northern hemisphere and winter in the southern hemisphere. Usually we say on the base of the northern hemisphere only. So this is the summer solstice, this is the winter solstice. So these are the positions of the earth on a revolution, and you see the season, winter season, summer season, and in the middle other seasons also will occur. So now you saw the summer solstices and winter solstices. Summer solstice, which date? June 21. On that day, the sun will be just above the Tropic of Cancer, and this region will receive more heat, and here we have summer season. In the North Pole region also, I showed you light will be there, but it will not be very hot there because direct rays of the sun do not fall there. Only slanting rays fall there, slanting rays. And that rays are not very hot. And there will be light in the Arctic Circle at that time. Arctic Circle experiences continuous light for 6 months. That means there is no night in the Arctic Circle during the summer solstice. How many days? For 6 months. There will be sun always shining on the North Pole, but not above. From side only we can see the sun. Okay. In the northern part of this equator there will be summer season. Here we have the longest day of the year in northern hemisphere is June 21st. That means on June 21st, daytime will be more and nighttime will be less. More daytime, less nighttime. That's why it will be very hot then. That's why it is called summer solstice. On 22nd December, just opposite to that, what happens? The sun will be on the Tropic of Capricorn. Sun will be on the Tropic of Capricorn. That day, it will be the longest night in the northern hemisphere. Day will be very short and night will be very long. At the same time, in the southern hemisphere, on that day, on December 22, the day is the longest and night is the shortest. In the northern hemisphere, night is the longest and the day is the shortest. In the southern hemisphere, day is the longest and night is the shortest. This difference is brought by these positions. So now you understood, I think, how seasons occur. Did you understand? Because when the earth moves around the sun, earth reaches different positions. There the earth receives sunlight in different quantities. Because of that only, different seasons occur. Okay now? If you have any doubt, don't hesitate to ask me. Also read the textbook very well. Watch the videos several times and listen to the explanations. You must compulsorily read the textbook. Without reading textbook, you will not understand anything. Read textbook, read textbook, read textbook, and after that only you want to write the homework. I will send you homework. All these answers you have to find out from textbook only. I am giving questions from textbook. Read the textbook and write the answers. Don't write any answer from outside, okay? All answers are there in the textbook. If you answer from the textbook, I can understand you read the textbook and wrote the answer. If you do not write like that, I will understand you took the help of somebody else. But I want you to do your homework yourself. Okay na? Thank you.